Our guests this morning, Skye and Emily, are again youth. You can come forward. From the First Unitarian Universalist Society of Newton, and they're going to tell us a little bit about some of the work they've been doing on issues related to the unhoused. We're so glad you're here.
Hi, we're back again. I'm Skye Larson.
And I'm Emily Riordan.
Emily and I are both sophomores at Newton North High School, and last year we started a fundraising and awareness project for the housing crisis called Opening Doors. Emily and I both have personal reasons that brought us to this project.
My mother grew up in Queens, New York, in a one-bedroom, subsidized apartment. My grandma, who raised her alone, didn't have a steady income, and this left my mom always uncertain of how stable her home really was. At times, she had to crash at relatives' houses. She was always looking for a way to stay off the street. My grandmother told me that she never even considered seeking support at a homeless shelter because she didn't trust that they were safe for her daughter. And my mother told me that many people facing homelessness are unheard or overlooked by society, and this isolation can dig an even deeper hole. All homeless individuals deserve the resources and safety that homeless shelters were founded to provide. But creating those resources requires outside support.
Me, I was adopted, and although it is not something I am yet used to talking about, it is something that I often think about. I was born into a life not fit for a child, but I was taken out of that same life before I could speak for myself, before I could do anything for myself. I was given a second chance, a new life. I was lucky, but I often think what my life would be like if the dice rolled the other way. And then I think of those who are not given a second chance. I think of how out of your control your life can be, and how the positions in life that people are in does not always have anything to do with something they have done. It has not only given me this perspective, but a sense of responsibility to pay it forward and give a second chance to those who are not handed one.
While at a homeless organization, we won't disclose names or location for privacy, but a participant wanted the leaders to recommend an annual art show that he had attended last year. He looked up the date only to find that it had already passed. How could I have missed it? I am so sorry, guys. It was upsetting to hear how frustrated he was with himself, but nothing could have prepared us for what he said next. It was right next to the bench that I sleep on every night. The idea of this kind, considerate man sitting with us in this circle, going to sleep on a cold metal bench in the middle of winter, made everything we are doing mean even more. I can bundle up in layers of clothes to walk to school for 10 minutes, while this man spends 12 hours in the cold every night. This man just wanted to share something exciting with us, something that might brighten our day. And he did all of this knowing that at the end of the day, he would return to this cold metal bench. This man did nothing to deserve spending his nights with cold metal pressed against his back. And he could so easily be me or you if the dice rolled the other way.
Now some may wonder, why wouldn't he just stay in a shelter? When in reality, more than 50% of individuals experiencing homelessness are unsheltered. Many believe that it is too dangerous or too demoralizing. They choose to sleep on the streets, a place equated with violence, insecurity, drugs, theft. It is a choice between two evils. For those who do wish to stay in a shelter, many are denied access because of the ever-growing bed shortage. People have to enter bed lotteries at a place to spend the night. Think of that. Luck, determining if you get to sleep on a bed or a bench. And as the nights grow colder, the loss in this bed lottery could lead to the loss of a life. Now the question rises, what is someone in need supposed to do? How are they supposed to change their position in life if their days are filled with roaming the streets, desperately trying to find someone to take them in? And that is why we started this project. We began by fundraising,
Or attempting to fundraise. Our school has 2,000 plus students, so we thought, piece of cake. We'll have a couple bake sales and a drive and get so many donations. Boy, were we wrong. The next months were filled with being brushed aside, ignored, elbow deep in burnt cookies and rejection. But it made us realize that although we are youth, which adds difficulty, we also had a 2,000 plus audience at our fingertips. We realized how many people see an issue and want to help, but feel that it's not their responsibility, or that their contribution couldn't make a difference. These huge world issues can feel daunting, and a single person's contribution can feel so insignificant that they don't even try. What if you or your loved ones were in this situation? Wouldn't you want someone to try, someone to care?
But unfortunately, the thing that we heard the most was, "That's nice," followed by the person turning their back and walking away. But no one is above homelessness. Not me, you, your friends, your family. All it takes is one business closing, one person being laid off, and everything disappears. It is hard to understand all that someone is going through. It is especially difficult when we do not take the time to listen. We spoke to a man who said that he went from a house, 2 cars, a family, to nothing. Now, many would hear this story and assume that drugs or prison were involved. It is commonly assumed that those facing homelessness were addicts, criminals, or did something to deserve the position that they are in, when in reality, it can be completely uncontrollable. But when we make these assumptions, we justify our avoidance. We tell ourselves that it's okay, that it's not our problem to solve, that it couldn't happen to us. When speaking to this man, it was clear that his mental health had played a significant role in the position that he was in. But this could happen to anybody. But we realized how many people turn their backs. But this
only propelled our want to contribute. And we knew that there were people out there who cared. We just needed to find them. When we spoke to our first UU congregation, we felt the support we had always dreamed of. And we knew that this was something that we wanted to continue. That is why we are here today. We realized the power of words and that our voices matter.
we found that the smallest acts of kindness can have the biggest impact on someone's life. We were at a homeless organization when they asked what resources people needed. One man said, "I could use a backpack." He talked about how big of a difference it would make when he needed to move all of his things from place to place. And I thought of a man, fitting all of his food, clothes, everything that meant something to him in life into a single bag. A bag that he didn't even have. I think of my own long grocery list, Christmas list, all of the things we find time to wish for, despite the fact that we have everything we need and more. This man had a single item list, despite the fact that he did not have what he needed. He said, "I don't need a new jacket, mine just has some holes in it, it just needs some patches, I have a job interview coming up." Now, it wouldn't take much to help this man fix his jacket, but it would make a huge difference in his life.
If this man could walk into a job interview feeling dignified and confident, this very interview could change the course of his life, could provide him with a steady income and hope. Every one of you can make a difference in someone's life. No matter how big or small, every contribution has the power to change a life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Skye and Emily, for sharing.